Hiya, real life kind of video here. Cuss well, this is my voice. Not a game entertainment video. For the attention of Patreon and YouTube. Oof, really not feeling good today, but let's give this a shot, eh? And hiya gov types. This will be sent to you as well. Yup, this is what I make. This is me. So, yeah, not hiding myself from the gov, all open there. They know me, who I am, and my work. Cool, eh? Sure, I will have a second channel that not related to my public voice. EGD. This channel will mainly be me, and my voice. The second channel? That will become my main work, where I work with clients, separate of this one, but I will inform the government of that one too. Me and my gov office buddies will talk about that in private. Prob is, same issue will affect both channels and my ability to draw an income. This channel has been used to search out and solve potential roadblocks when looking at a more sustainable income. E.g., this has been in the works a while, learning new skills to transition my work to meet my new health restrictions. Always adjusted where I can. Health has always changed, sadly never for the better. But hey, how it be? Government staff must treat these communications with the utmost respect and privacy, and not disclose the names of personal information of myself or my support team through this media, e.g., post or linking. To do so is to cause actual harm, and action will be taken under the law. I will be supplying this as evidence to an official government body by my own choosing. And hey, if the gov types want to make this all a bit easier, why not set up a face-to-face interview again, like the one we had with my interpreter last month, and we can agree that this channel is me, part of my communication, e.g. a real part of my identity. Cuss, as you saw in that interviews we had, the one where you confirmed my identity, not only could I not talk, but even writing out my replies became very difficult as my arms gave up, and it became harder and harder to read what I wanted to say. Here, I can take a day and write out what I wish to say, a day or longer, but at least it is what I want to say and the only voice I have. Your methods put me at a huge disadvantage and rely on an interpreter who can only guess at what I'm trying to say. I think that is fair and reasonable, don't you? For clarification, I am talking to the staff and especially my work coach at the UK Universal Credit Office. You say you are about what the disabled can do and not what they can't, right? Okay, back to Patreon stuff. I know, but I did explain this is not an entertainment video. This is to make my standings clear in law. Don't worry, nothing terrible, just communicating and stating some things. So what's it about? Work and income. Government staff now have a full and clear record of my issues and requirements, legally setting the burden of responsibility in that office. Should I need them to act on my behalf when they question my attempt to transition work? I'm looking at Patreon as an avenue to get some donations now and again. Sure, I know most don't have the free pennies, and that's cool, but some do, and never know what to spend it on. And I'm the sort of person where a few £100 a year changes my life, 'cause I live so frugally. Have to. Problem with these online services is they do not take into account rarer disabilities. That's fair. How can they know if someone doesn't explain it to them? And I'm sure they are good-hearted staff that I deal with, but they don't fully know the laws. I have been here before, and the law helped me draw my earning via equal access to a service, as it is meant to. So yeah, know how this works. It was many years ago when I faced this problem with Second Life, an online metaverse, and photo ID requests, of which I have none. So, I asked Second Life why they needed it, and they said it was for tax purposes. And true it was, and that it was the law. So, it's fair, they needed my ID. No issue there. Nothing to hide from them, and they got it in the end. My way. Now, I know the law in this area, so I asked, politely, can you state that law for me? As Second Life is in California of the USA, and they have different terms, but the service I was being offered was through UK markets. I was sent the law, and I'm sure the clerk on the other side thought all boxes were ticked. Well, no, I read the law, and I told them I do not have to provide photo ID by law. We will do this another way, and I will have my doctor confirm I am exempt from photographic ID. If they had refused this method and reasonable offer, they would have been in breach of UK law. Oh, and yes, I have offered YouTube the same methods, and they still wish to breach the law. I know it won't be the lawyers and higher-ups ignoring my request, but frontline staff that are discriminating. Thing is, law states a person can be prosecuted, not just a company. YouTube are currently avoiding action because they can claim support staff failed to address it, working on that, and hopefully with official government support. So, yeah. When a company is faced with a huge fine or putting full responsibility on that staff, who do you think the company let take the fall? Meh, all money in my pocket at the end of the day, but that's not what it's about. I just want equal access. Yes, it was a faff, but it all went well and no ill feelings. Point is, that clerk had no idea of the law and depth, and someone that isn't me, has not lived this, would not know how to get past such a roadblock. The discrimination laws are there to protect against just such things, and I had to use the law. So here we are again. Yes, service can be refused for many reasons, but once that reason is discrimination and that characteristic is protected under law, such as issue arising from a disability, and reasonable adjustments are not made, the law has been breached. So, I hope I won't see the same fight with Patreon, but I can't see why I would not. It's the same every time. Their inclusivity and understands only refers to trendy issues. That's how it be. And I understand that issue. Problem is when the frontline staff think they know better, think they know the law because they haven't heard of a strange disability. That's when it gets messy. That's right. It's not normally the company's higher-up discriminating, but the frontline staff thinking they know it all and looking down on the customer. Some advice, take it, it's free. Here is the simple rule for staff. If you are told of limitation arising from a disability, address it. Did you know that action can be taken without proof in a lot of cases, if it's deemed that disability is easy, understood to be limiting? Meaning, you have already lost before it goes to court. If a person offer you up proof beforehand, take it, because they do not have to in the UK, it's protected data. Meaning, if a disability can exist and someone claim it limits them, you can be prosecuted without the person even proving their disability. Don't get me wrong. Cue some will. This isn't me attacking Patreon. This is me asking for things to be clear from the start, and making it clear for them also, so that they know what the law is. They may already know. Seen such companies as Ibaya fully understanding such laws prior to me explaining. So really, this is me ticking boxes my side. I have to activate the Protection of the Disability Act. So yeah, all seem kind of strange, even aggressive, but nah, it's normal legalese, box ticking. Okay, let's clearly list my concerns with Patreon due to issues arising from my disabilities. That's a legal term, by the way. I am restricted in many ways. Some of these issues I can overcome personally with the help of my team. Some I can not. And then it is reasonable for the company to adjust, as stated in law. I have no phones or phone access, nor will have a phone or phone-like object in my possession. Reasons for this are noted with my doctor. This issue, along with my mutism, was recently observed by trained staff when government civil servant had to come to my home to confirm my identity, as normal methods were inappropriate. E.g., photo passports and such. I don't have. Not an issue. The government department was following the law and had a special team that was able to work with me and my interpreter. It all went well. Important thing there is, not only are my conditions medically and officially noted with a doctor, they are now observed, noted, and recorded with the governmental offices and their disability departments, benefits, and tax office. E.g., I now have the understanding and backing of his revenues and customs and DWP of UK. If they wish to question my current position, well, I can now point them directly to an organisation breaking the act. Cool, eh? Yup, if they ask, could I be earning more and get off government support? I will say yes, and I'm wanna. But dear government, you have to enact the law first. Are you listing universal tax credits? Work coach? 'Cause I'm sure you will claim you wish to help me get off benefits. B, we know that when it gets complicated you would rather throw the towel in and just, nah, not this time. You said you would get me into full earning work. Enact the law then. My conditions and limitations are clearly recorded by medical and governmental departments, giving me full protection under the law. We will explain why that's so important down later on, because it leads into why I'm looking at a Patreon at this point. Yes, YouTube is in breach of the Equalities Act, and I have proven it. There may be some staff right now thinking back on when I said I can't have phone-like devices in my possession. There you go again, thinking you know it all? Stop that. Turn on your brain for a second and process this. It's considered dangerous for me as it was a phone that led to a very real and dramatic outcome. I won't go into detail, it's not something I wish to talk about yet, if ever. Gov knows, and they arrested me on Heath/risk grounds. Fun times in the nut house, eh? Oh, and don't assume I was born crazy. What led me to this? It was agreed the system let it happen, and I got a suitable and safe place to live and physical support at last. The mention of using a phone just a few years back caused a PTSD-triggered psychotic breakdown. No, that doesn't mean violent, just mean I went into psychosis. And that was at the mention of a phone, so I don't even have for text. This is protected under law, and there is no way any staff could have assumed that reason. So please, don't assume you know it all. You really don't, and it can lead to legal and financial liability. I'm being kind here. I'm not here to gain money at your ignorance, won't try to trap you. I will be clear and upfront. I just want equal access to things, within reason. So my worried with Patreon, personal information and payment processing. I use a team of people in my life. I should not have to. Organizations are meant to provide assistance, so I can do things myself as a disabled person and not ask for a third party. But that's not the reality, so I find ways. This means if Patreon ask for real-life personal information such as addresses and names, I have to be so clear, so careful about any real-life information of my support team. Given what I have to explain to you, maybe you can see why my support team would rather not be liked to my online presence. At least publicly. My support team are not involved in my work, nor wish to be associated with any comeback it could generate. So, if such information was leaked, say, on an invoice to a donor wishing to mine information, then I may lose part of my disability support team. That is a huge worry. So, I need to know Patreon, when we see such things as you see on the screen now. Asking for real-life information. Is this private? Or will it appear on public or member invoices? Your FAQ kinda make is sound like it is, but I don't know. And I can't take the risk. I have to give reassurances to my support network before I use their services in any way. If I abuse that trust, I lose that service.
Got it going on, something number one. Why the years and then we call peers. Why? She calls out their fears. Nothing but be shy, making choices on the fly. Say what you will, I mean no ill. Sorry if you can't take the truth pill. Imagine villain when I've done no ill and just been saying how it is. No filter, no care. I swear I know